What's going on, YouTube? James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey, June 29th, bringing you guys along for an update, showing you how the food forest is coming along. Just had a few things I wanted to talk about, but I also wanted to bring you guys along for that update that I've been trying to do every week. I've been doing it for a couple months now, so if you guys haven't seen them, you could track back and look at the progression of how things are going. A lot of squash, a lot of zucchini I've harvested this year. I couldn't even tell you how many pounds it is. I don't know, maybe 30 pounds or something. It's just been ridiculous. I've been juicing them. I've been making smoothies with them. I'm going to be freezing some. Been giving them away like crazy. It's cool. I like it like that. Last year I didn't have as many squash, didn't harvest as much, so I was determined this year to do it better with that. And every year there's stuff like that. This year I'm not doing great with peppers so far, so I'll have to do better next year. But you can see there's just squash everywhere in here. I can show you more in the front. They're just everywhere. And this garden has taken, like I've said, basically zero maintenance. Haven't really done much. Potatoes are coming through nice. I actually went through in one spot and put a little lime down in one of my tomato patches, just in case, just for the to try to deal with the blossom end rot, to get some calcium into the soil right there. In the other tomato patches I didn't do it. I'm just going to see how that works, because I know last year there were a couple tomatoes that we got blossom end rot with, so I'm just going to try to jump on that before anything happens. But I'm not putting all my eggs into one basket. I'm kind of doing a diversity of different things. This way I can see which works best. Here's more tomatoes in this patch over here. Doing real good. Everything's just loaded up. And you can see that there's just so much activity in here as a result of having so many flowers. Here's this cilantro patch that has all gone to seed. It's all flower now, so it's all going to be going to seed. I see some small seed in there already. So last year we had a pack of cilantro. This year we harvested all that, and now we have way more than we could even imagine this year. And this year we'll save the seed from that and have even way more than the year before. So if you're saving your own seed, it's most vegetables you only have to buy once in your life, and as long as you save the seed, you'll have it for the rest of your life, more and more. It's just an incredible trade-off. In here I pulled out, there was even more cilantro, but I don't need that much seed because I have other patches of it. So I went through and I planted some more summer things, some watermelon, some cucumber, some more peppers, just to try to, get a succession of yields. There's even some peas over here. I've got so many peas planted, can't even stay on top of them all the time. Some squash over here doing well. But I'm going to walk through more now, just talk about a few things I wanted to talk about. Here's zinnia. Another zinnia. And here's on that hugel mound. You can see it's getting a little hot, so I'm getting a little wilt on some of the cucumbers or pumpkins, whatever those are over there. But they'll be alright. I should be getting rain in a couple days, but I don't really like to come through and water much unless I really have to. All those flowers back there bringing in pollinators. This corn batch is doing good. So one thing I wanted to talk about was not being a zealot when it comes to gardening. But that is, basically, it's just not like being a crazy, fanatical person who only does everything one way. If you like the way someone gardens, don't just do only the way they do it. The best concept, in my opinion, is to find a bunch of successful people and to mimic what they do. Oh, there's some raspberries. So to mimic what they do, take things from each person, learning from every person, and create your own sort of system. Some cucumbers back here too. So to create your own system. And there's a way to find out, who do you want to follow? That's kind of the first concept. Who do you want to mimic? Who do you want to base your garden off of? And there's a saying that goes, you'll know them by their fruits. So that's That's what I go by. If you want to learn about gardening, find someone with the nicest garden that you can find, someone who's really doing it well, doing it now, and kind of blowing you away. That's what I did. First I found, I think it was Sepp Holzer. He's just incredible, his gardening methods. Then I look into someone like Jeff Lawton. He's incredible. And I took a lot of the concepts that they're using, including Bill Mollison, and I kind of blended all those concepts together into what worked best for my location and for my circumstances. I don't use as many pioneer plants necessarily as Jeff Lawton does with the nitrogen fixers and stuff, but a lot of the concepts that he used and the ideas that he used, I'm using in my system to bring in fertility and to use a lot of those permaculture methods. So those are two important concepts, and I can't just tell you how I do things exactly, because I'm always changing how I do things. The reason for that is because my methods are always changing, because I'm gardening by observation, and that's one of the most important things to do. If you really Bill Mollison says if you garden by observation, essentially you can't fail. What do I mean by that is that if something's going wrong, if something's not doing well together, then you got to step in and maybe remove something and replace it with something else so that the system takes care of itself better. Or if you have something that works well together, then you could use that same system, that same companion system in another place. So just kind of go through and observe what works well and what doesn't work together, and change it accordingly is the way to do it. But there's a balance that comes along with that, because you don't want to step in too early before things can start to really establish themselves on their own, because that's the best. That's what you really want. And like I said, my methods are always changing as a result of my goals. Some years, like last year, I wanted to do more of solely natural farming, not doing any watering, doing everything completely natural. This way I could see whether I could grow on a large scale and do zero maintenance. And that's basically what I did last year. This year my goals were to get more of a higher yield, so I planted things a little different way, so I did everything just a little differently this year. So really the methods are based on the goals. So you want to have goals set forth before you get the garden started, and that'll help determine a lot of the methods and the things you're doing in your garden. You can see all the bees here going crazy in the borage. This is their favorite flower. They're always in here. And I had two borage plants last year. They were right here. I didn't plant any of these in here. These are all self-seeded. And now you can see all the borages I have everywhere. That's one of my main flowering plants. Those and calendula. Those seem to be my favorites because I think the bees really like them a lot. They've got these two dynamics. The borages have this blue, tall color that kind of shoot their petals up, and the bees go obsessed with them. But then the calendulas have this bright color that can draw in the bees and the other pollinators by their bright colors. So having the balance between those two has worked well. Also, their calendulas are great medicinals, and the borages are edible. So getting multiple functions out of each plant, which is important. Got a bunch of herbs and stuff. There's even thyme growing down there. So things are doing well in the food forest. Things are coming along nicely. It's been a joy to garden because I really don't do much. I haven't even got a chance to weed, even from the last time I said I was going to come out here and weed. Haven't really even got a chance to, but I don't see that many weeds because there's not that much light for the plants to grow. You can see that the denseness of the polycultures. And I don't know if you can see all the activity of the bugs everywhere, but I can't even explain how much activity is going on here with the insects. Someone was saying I don't see insect damage on your plants, and actually right now there isn't much, which I'm very happy about. In the future, I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but I feel blessed right now with how things are going, and I think a lot of that has to do with the balance, even allowing things to be balanced from last year, from not doing too much, to not coming in and killing insects when I had an insect problem, but kind of letting them run their course and let things balance out altogether. So that's some of the concepts I've used. Also things like, you can see I have tomatoes planted right here, and then I have tomatoes planted right here, but I also have that giant carrot in there that's help bring in pollinators and nice insectivores to kind of keep the insects down in here in this tomato patch. But then I also have this thick patch of cilantro. This is like a barrier plant, so that this isn't one just huge tomato patch. Rather, that has like this division of a nice, strong smelling herb. So the pests will get confused. They don't think it's just a huge patch. And I haven't watered any of the trees that I planted in here. There's got to be about 20 trees in here. I haven't watered any of them. This one has done the best so far. It's gotten huge, but all the peaches and everything are doing good. Some of the apples are doing well. You can see an apple right there. Golden Delicious, like it's doing pretty well. A lot of the grapes are doing good, as I was showing you some of the grapes. Tomatoes are getting bigger. I even have some tomatoes in pots and peppers in pots to utilize as much space as possible. And to show you guys kind of that you could grow in pots if you don't have the space. And I come out here every couple days and water these. That's it. I've got some wood chips on the top. Some of them look like they're not as healthy. Maybe like the watermelon here. But I'm going to go through, and I have homemade compost. And I'm going to put a layer of compost there as a top dressing. And then water it in and see how that does. Kind of just like a little compost tea method. But a lot of the squashes are doing good. Every day there's just more and more squash. I probably can come out here and harvest at least 10 more. The potato patch is doing good in here. And so is all that squash back there. So I could go on and on. But this was just kind of a little update for you guys. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for following along. James Prigione's out.